Yeah, give thanks continually for the life giver and the keeper of life, Emperor Haile Selassie the First. Yes, royal family here with you live and direct on a beautiful evening. Talking about 25 minutes now, moving up into the midnight hour. Yes, at least Eastern Caribbean time. I know many of you, yeah, give thanks, humbling on the what you call it, the daylight saving time. So it's about an hour ahead. So it's like about 10:36 maybe where you are in the West. And of course, those of you in the eastern part of the world that may be looking to see the sunrise wherever you may be, South Africa, Ethiopia, even in Kenya, Uganda, beautiful. Of course, your humble servant here with you, Honorable Priest Isaac, just reminding you of tomorrow's great event. We are already set for that. Just make sure that you are here at 3 p.m. Now, this 3 p.m. is Eastern Caribbean time. I know the Eastern Standard Time is switching back and forth because of daylight saving times and all of that. We give thanks that we can keep a sturdy time here. So whatever the time will be at that time, I think it should be 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But whatever the case is, it's 3 p.m. Eastern Caribbean time. Just balance yourself, family. Check us on Radio Anno TV. That's the YouTube channel, Radio Anno TV for sure. And we will be having that wonderful rudiments of ancient astronomy webinar. And this evening, I'm just here with you live and direct, eh? Yeah, give thanks for all of those who are coming in. I just want to share something with you even before I begin my discourse. Just going to spend a few moments with you. Tell me what you think about this one. Lightning is a giant spark of electricity in the atmosphere between clouds, the air, or the ground. In the early stages of development, air acts as an insulator between the positive and the negative charges in the cloud and between the cloud and the ground. When the opposite charges build up enough, this insulating capacity of the air breaks down and there is a rapid discharge of electricity that we know as lightning. The flash of lightning temporarily equalizes the charged region in the atmosphere until the opposite charges build up again. Yes, royal family. Give thanks for that. And of course, that was really, you were just looking at one of the short clips, short videos that we have as a part of our international homeschool program. We're talking about hundreds of videos and short clips, and of course, classes. 15 to 20-minute daily classes. We're talking about your astronomy specifically, and of course, your African history and African heritage and culture, as well as the sciences, as well as biology, all of these different subject areas, some of them recently added to our whole portfolio here at the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge. So I'm telling you, family, you have your young ones, you have your preteens, you have your toddlers. This is the time to make an investment in the babies, in the young prince and the young princess. I am telling you, family, our international homeschool program, as you can clearly see, it is definitely designed for the young minds, where we teach them many different topics in different subject areas. As you could clearly see, we touch it on a different level. And of course, you have an unlimited access. Hear this? An unlimited access to the platform where the whole program is available. So you have nothing to lose, parents, for sure. This is an investment in the psychology of your little ones, who you want to make sure they stay on the path and grow a love for Africa. I know you're doing a good job. I'm sure you are. But of course, it will help if your brother assists you in, the development of the mind of the young ones. Trust me, just take it from me. I'm telling you this as a friend. We have a well comprehensive program, the International Homeschool Program, and it is growing. You yourself would have heard parents and young ones, those who partake of it, those who purchased it for their children, how they are even recommending it to you. So definitely, this is something where I am positive and I can clearly say there's nothing for anyone to lose. It's an investment in the young ones. All right. PriestIsaacInstitute.com. Of course, you can email us, priestIsaacInstitute@gmail.com. What I want to highlight here now, for the moment that you're with me, I know some of you may be looking to go to rest and you just noticed that I was on live. So put back on the light and said, hey, let's watch this here. But listen, family, on the 27th day of this month, which is just 2 days or so from now, there will be a full moon. And according to the world of astrology, this full moon will be in the constellation of Gemini. Again, as I always say, just to be clear, we do not do this because we want to be antagonistic at all to the world of astrology. But it doesn't appear to me as if my message has really reached thus far as yet where I would like it to reach. So I'm going to repeat it until I get the impression that, okay, people are paying attention to what I'm saying. And what I'm saying is this. Every month, again, the world of astrology, which is very large, promotes this concept of the moon being in the constellation where it really is not. As I said, family, we defend astronomy, which is a correct, precise science. And to add to that, we promote ancient astronomy, which couples the ancient science of understanding the soul, the spirit, your character, your behavior, observing where and when you were born and what the heavens were saying when you were born. This is what astrology promotes as well. But astrology is off as it relates to the academics, as it relates to the precise astronomical clock, as it relates to the movement of the astronomical clock. Astrology is stuck in the past. Astrology is about 8 centuries behind time. That's the reality, eh? Astrology is like about 10 degrees off in the zodiac belt. So the readings that you are getting, as pretty as they may sound, and they may apply to you if the clock was correct. But because astrology is off several days, and as I said, several degrees, the reading more times than less is wrong. So all astrologers are telling you, go and research it now. As I'm speaking to you now. Go on YouTube or Bing or Google or any search engine and research astrology. November's full moon, and you're going to see all of them pop up. The Gemini moon. The moon is going to be in Gemini, and whatever energy Gemini gives, and whatever spirit Gemini gives off. And I'm not fighting them with the energy that Gemini gives. More than likely, they may be at least 50% correct, but the moon will not be in Gemini. So the reading is 0% correct. The moon will be in Taurus. Remember, we study astronomy, family. Don't get me wrong. I understand the science of the beginning of the sign in relation to where it is. So in other words, listen to me good. In other words, At the beginning of the sign of Gemini, for example, the sun is supposed to be just on its way out of Taurus. So when the sign of Gemini begins, I'm talking about in your annual zodiac belt. So whatever date the sign of Gemini begins, the sun on that day should be leaving the domain of Taurus on its way to Gemini. Now, of course, you know, the sign would be alive or be in power for about a month, 28 days to 30 days. Now, at the end of the sign, when the other sign, which would be Cancer, is about to begin, the sun should be in that sign, Gemini, looking to come out of it on its way to Cancer. So that's how it really works. So not because we say, well, it's the sign of Gemini, means that the sun is exactly inside of Gemini. But it means that the sun must be either on its way to Gemini or in Gemini looking to come out. You cannot say it's the sign of Gemini and the sun is not only in Taurus, but in the early parts of Taurus. Let me show you now. Now, the moon is different than the sun, but I'm just using the same example now to bring it to the moon. Now, on the 27th day of November, around 1, 2, 3 or so a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Eastern Caribbean Time, that is when the moon will be full. I want you to follow me. Now, this is the time that I have here. This is the exact time that I have here, the 27th day of November 2023. About 6 minutes past 2, the moon would have just officially become full. It's in the constellation of Taurus. It is not in the constellation of Gemini. Taurus represents the bull. Taurus represents the charging bull. And Gemini, of course, represents the twin. All right. Which is really should be male and female. Okay. Now, what I'm saying, family, with good understanding here, I want you to follow me good. When we take into consideration how the moon moves, so the 27th day, the moon is in Taurus. Astrologers are saying it's in Gemini. All right. Let us move 24 hours ahead. On the 28th day of November, which is 24 hours after the official full moon, the moon will still be in the constellation of Taurus. This is my point. In fact, only 48 hours after, on the 29th of November this year, 2023, in a few days, then you finally see the moon going into the constellation of Gemini, and it is on the 30th, the full moon done gone. It is on the 30th of November. You see the moon actually housed inside of Gemini to the point that you cannot even attribute this moon to Cancer as yet. Because although it's slugged in Gemini, it is not on its way out as yet. Maybe in the next 12 hours, you could consider it on its way out. Then you could start attributing it to Cancer. I wonder if you see what I'm saying here. So my point is on the 27th day. This is astronomy talking here. The moon will not be in Gemini. On the 28th day, a whole 24 hours after the initial full moon, the moon still will not be in Gemini. It is only on the 29th day where the moon will be in a space where you could say it's beginning to enter into the space of Gemini. So all of us who believe so much in Madam Astrologer, who believe so much in these readings And many of us make the phone calls, many of us go in the emails, many of us, we into that a lot. I realize that I am safe and I will stand firm and stick to my guns. Astrology, for the most part, is off. It is off mathematically. It's off the grid of the true astronomical clock. So the reading that it gives must be off as well, even if the principle of the reading may be correct. Saturn may have that energy. The moon may produce this vibe. Gemini may be of this vibration. But if the moon is not in Gemini, it's in Taurus, and you're giving me a moon in Gemini reading, the reading is wrong. So this is why I am encouraging you, my beautiful family. Make sure you are with us on tomorrow. It's tomorrow afternoon, 3 p.m. 3 p.m. Eastern Caribbean time. That might be 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but Eastern Caribbean time now, because they have changed the daylight saving time. I must admit, sometimes I'm not even studying the daylight saving time thing. Sometimes it's like a few days after or a week after I get the news, hey, daylight saving time, and oh my, what's going on here? So that would have changed. So again, you would have to pardon me. So just make sure you're in the house for 3 p.m. Eastern Caribbean time, which, as I said again, would be 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, thereabouts. That's tomorrow afternoon. Free webinar right here on radio and on TV, where we will be going into the rudiments of ancient astronomy. And this is why, again, family, I myself personally encourage ones, to get a proper copy of a proper understanding as it relates to their nativity, as it relates to their natal chart. And that is why we offer the official ancient astronomy natal chart document. It's not just a natal chart reading, it's a document that you could keep and you could share and you could study and you have a better understanding. First of all, our natal chart is precise. It's not no off reading, first of all. I think I would have proven this now several times. What we would have proven cannot be disproven. It's not as if we are off. No one could jump up and say, oh, you're using this computer app, this Google chart. Google chart, what you talking about? This is Stellarium. And most of these charts are precise. It's nothing hard. It's just a specific code that they follow that creates it. But I am telling you, I was just looking at the stars a moment ago. I am telling you, being celestially literate, the apps are correct. I am telling you, the moon will not be in Gemini on the 27th, the evening or the early mornings thereof, not until the 29th. And I didn't have to look at the app to know that. You understand, family? So let me return to what I'm saying. So this is why our natal chart readings are precise. That's the beginning of it. That's the first step. So if it's one thing you know about the natal chart document that you get from us, is that the position of planets, the moon and the sun, at the time when you came out of your mother's womb, will be accurate. Once you give us the right time, it will be accurate. We give you the coordinates. We don't just tell you the sun was in that constellation. We give you the precise coordinates where the sun was, once you can give us the exact time that you were born. Now, that's serious. There's nothing nowhere at all across the planet that is doing anything like that yet. And then now we go and give you the accurate interpretation of it. So yeah, give thanks for the life giver and the keeper of life. Yes, family, give thanks for the moment, Yeah, live and direct is like 5 minutes to midnight. Just continue to humble here and sip a cup and continue to flow. Rastafari live forevermore. Love, love. So looking forward to you tomorrow evening, tomorrow afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern Caribbean time, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Do you want an accurate natal chart reading to know the true position of the sun, the moon, and each planet at the moment that you were being born? We at the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge will create a precise natal chart for you and your loved ones, coupled with snapshot pictures of each planet, the sun, the moon, plus the constellations related to them. In addition to this, we will be giving you a detailed report of the alignment of planets to the constellations and its full meaning, not from an astrological perspective, but from an ancient astronomical perspective. You will have this report for the rest of your life and can share it with your friends and your family. To order your accurate natal chart today, visit our website, priestisaacinstitute.com, or email us, priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. Blessed.